Hello my beautiful friends and welcome back to our channel. My name is Beck. I am a professional mindset coach, a medical doctor and the founder of the group coaching program Dear Darling. If you know you're ready for something different in your life, the links to Dear Darling are down below and you will not regret this decision. My clients often tell me that they just can't imagine how they did life before they had these tools and concepts of coaching, and I want the same thing for you. Sometimes we just don't know what else is possible, and so we accept what we have. But coaching is really meant to help you see more of your choices and then empower you to be able to take the choice that actually suits you. When a lot of us instead live our life in a way that subconsciously, unknown to us, limits the amount of options we have available to us. And a lot of that is to do with misunderstandings and fear. And that's what we're going to be talking about in this video today. I want to talk about a common misunderstanding that people have in terms of what it takes to change, and in particular, how coaching works. Because a lot of people think that coaching is, and fair enough, because we have these connotations from sport, that coaching is, somebody who is an accountability partner, somebody who makes sure that you just show up to train each week. Or, that tough personal trainer who's always, pushing you, telling you like, you're terrible, you're not good enough, do more, be better, aren't you better than this? Or even using the positive motivation, being more of a cheerleader. But the mindset coaching process is so much more sophisticated than that. What I really do is show you how to use, or retrain you to use, this big, beautiful, and complicated mind of yours. I really think our brains, our human brains, should come with an instruction manual. And this is kind of what we do in coaching. We give you an instruction manual for your brain. We help you create awareness of how your brain works, how your mind works, and how your mind creates your results in your world. And with that understanding, we help you take more control over that system so that you can create the results you want. So in today's video, I want to talk to you about the common quote, it's popular Instagram quote, feel the fear and do it anyway. And I want to talk about how that's not the only way. And in fact, in Dear Darling, we take a completely different approach. My approach is primarily to create safety around what you fear, to then allow you to go out there and do the thing. As opposed to the just do it mentality, just pushing and forcing yourself to do it, holding your breath and taking the plunge. And there is a place for that, there absolutely is a place for that. But in Dear Darling, we don't have you rely on motivation and willpower, hitting the override button on your fear. Quite the opposite. The method we use, the process that we use, the goals that we have in Dear Darling are around changing your relationship with yourself, which primarily includes where you get your sense of safety from. So what that means is you don't just stay the same level of afraid in your life and then try and lift your motivation and willpower to get higher than that, to overcome it, to actually move yourself into action. But instead what we do is we lower the amount of fear that you feel, right? And not only that, not only do you have less fear because we change the way that you think, and therefore you find these things less frightening, less intimidating, less threatening, and therefore you have less of a nervous system activation. You perceive less of a threat, and so you have less of that fight or flight or freeze or appease or shut down response that our nervous system has to threats. Not only is that lower, but we also change the relationship that you have with yourself when you're feeling fear. i.e., we change how afraid you are of your own fear. We make you less afraid of fear, right? And this is quite hard to think about if you haven't experienced it before. But for a lot of us, just the experience of having fear in our body starts this downward spiral. It starts this stacking of more and more threats and problems. It creates this ever increasing nervous system activation, and then our internal experience of this fear and the fear of the fear becomes so intolerable. And it is a difficult cycle to break on your own. But with the expertise of a coach, we can slowly pull apart and break down this relationship that you have with fear to make it one that is more empowered and less disempowering. So what I really want to communicate here is that coaching is not about having accountability and being pushed out of your comfort zone and to just do the thing with fear. While that does have a place, and sometimes we will actually choose to do that in coaching, but the edge that we have in Dare Darling, I guess because I can't speak for all the coaches, different coaches have different methods, but the edge that I have in Dare Darling, the way that I coach is to help you create more safety in yourself, so that then you actually feel more compelled, more motivated to do the thing that previously made you feel terrified. And isn't that such a beautiful win-win? It's not as fast, right, as just forcing yourself to just do it, is it? But the amount of willpower, the amount of effort and energy that it takes to force yourself to overcome that enormous amount of fear is huge. And it's not something that people tend to repeat over and over and over again in their lives. It's a mighty effort that we save for some important things, and maybe, if we're lucky, we will do it in those times that we want to. But when instead you can make things in your life less fearful, and you can have a different relationship with fear, and tip that balance of fear and desire so you have less fear and more desire in your life. That's the other part of coaching that I'm not even talking about right now. Reducing the fear is one bit, and increasing our desire is another. Because a lot of us have just suppressed and muted our desires. But when we tip this balance, suddenly life isn't so hard. Don't get me wrong, it's not easy. It's hard in a different way, but it's hard in the way of managing our thoughts and emotions instead of needing to override ourselves and use willpower and expend enormous amounts of energy while feeling terrified and not enjoying the experience. But if you can tip this balance, you're creating a more sustainable change. And when you fundamentally get down to your relationships with your fears and your desires, if you do that in one area of your life, then you can apply that to all different areas of your life. And suddenly, this is how you get exponential results. Because not only is it easier, but you're more motivated, you're more compelled when your desire and your fear are in a more useful balance here. So, if you're sick of using willpower, and you're finding willpower unreliable, if you're sick of feeling like you're disrespecting yourself and overriding yourself, dishonoring yourself by doing things that so much of your body feels like it doesn't want to do because it's unsafe, then Dare Darling might just be the solution for you. In Dare Darling, we make it safe to dare again. Our process is 1, to bring up a change or desire that we want to make. 2, create personal safety around that desire. And then 3, go out and test and train that level of safety that you created. And 4, we appreciate the result. Good, bad, or otherwise, we appreciate what went well, what didn't go well, and what we want to do differently. And sometimes it goes so swimmingly that you just get to sit back and enjoy your sweet, sweet result, your win-win result, where you created this result in a way that is sustainable, in a way that creates safety for yourself and gets you that amazing outcome that would have been terrifying or felt unattainable in the past. So my beautiful friends, I hope this resonates with you. I hope you know that there is another way than just forcing yourself, and in doing that, building a worse and worse relationship with yourself, breaking your own self-trust. Instead, this method that we use in our mindset coaching in Dare Darling is to create safety with ourselves. We want to create a better relationship with ourselves, and that is how we get our results. All right, my beautiful friends, I'm so glad you're here. It's such an honor to always connect with you, and I'll see you guys in my next one.